Are you looking for the lightest, fluffiest, airiest dessert on earth? Well, if you are, you've come to the right place, because today I'm making angel food cake. It's light, it's airy, it's fluffy, it's everything that you could want in a dessert and more. And it only has 6 ingredients. You do not need to buy a mix to make an angel food cake because it only has 6 ingredients to begin with. What are you replacing? The first thing that you want to do is separate 12 eggs. For this recipe, you're going to need 12 large egg whites. That's something that you have to do that you don't have to do if you get a mix, but don't get a mix, okay? You need the egg whites to be room temperature because they'll whip up better if they're room temperature, but they're harder to separate when they're room temperature. The yolks break more easily, so choose yourself. You want to beat your egg whites till they're foamy, so transfer them to a stand mixer. You can also do this by hand if you want, but it'll take a little bit longer, quite a bit longer maybe, I don't know. Beat it until it's foamy. When it gets foamy, just add a teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's going to help give it nice structure and strength so that it'll get really nice and high. When it soft peaks, gradually add 1.25 cups of sugar, just a little bit at a time, and then beat until stiff, glossy peaks form. When it's stiff, glossy peaks, add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. You'll know it's stiff, glossy peaks when it'll hold its peak when you pick up the beater and hold it up in the air. You don't want to go too much farther than that because then it'll start deteriorating. Stiff peaks. Transfer it to another bowl. You want something wide and large. It's much easier for folding and you won't lose as much volume that way. Oh, this is so beautiful. Meringue is gorgeous and fun and actually not hard to make at all. And it's always super impressive. Now what you want to do is sift in 4 additions, 1 cup of cake flour and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You do it in 4 additions, and between each addition you fold it in. That's why this big spatula is so useful. You want nice big strokes and you don't want to do too many. And the key to any meringue-based dessert is to not overwork it. Otherwise it'll break down your meringue mixture. Make sure that you're using cake flour and not all-purpose. I don't usually use cake flour in my recipes because it's kind of a specialty item, but it is very important in an angel food cake for the proper texture. Then what you want to do is transfer your mixture to an angel food cake pan with a removable bottom. It has this tube and it lifts out. Not greased, not floured, nothing, just plain. Just dollop this around the center. You want to smooth it out a little bit so it's nice and even. You don't want to mess around with this too much, but you do want to release some of the air bubbles if there are excess air bubbles. So you run your spatula or a knife through the cake a couple times to settle everything down. You can use your offset spatula or a butter knife for that. Re-smooth the top and then put it into a 350-degree oven until the top springs back when lightly touched, 35 to 40 minutes. When the cake comes out of the oven, you'll notice that these tube pans have these little feet. What you want to do is let your cake cool upside down, balancing on the feet. That keeps the cake from falling as it's cooling. It's actually a really cool thing. Old-fashioned recipes used to tell you to put the tube over a bottle of wine. You can do that too if you don't have the feet on your tube pan. All right, now what you want to do is run your knife around the edges to release it from the sides of the pan. I mean, you should be able to lift it out. Ta-da! Cut across the bottom to remove it from the pan and then just lift it out. Beautiful, light, fluffy, amazing. And then I recommend using a serrated knife to cut it so that you don't mush it down too much with a regular knife. Plate it up with some berries and then eat it. Eat it immediately. Eat it for breakfast, eat it for lunch, eat it for dinner. It's delicious and light and it's 0 fat. Now, you don't have to feel guilty about eating it. Unless you add that whipped cream, because I do highly recommend adding a little whipped cream. But still, trust your body, treat yourself. It's just like one light, fluffy, light fluffathon. Hi guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click here if you want to subscribe and click over here if you want to continue watching more great videos like this.